Hello, Zion UMC. I just wanted to touch base with you about some plans I hope for us to have in the upcoming weeks and possibly throughout the month of May. As we know, our governor in the state of Missouri is going to begin to open up the state and release some of these stay-at-home requirements after the first Sunday of the month, the day after that, in fact. And I'd like to begin to do some things on May 10th. Now, typically, we have communion on the first Sunday of the month, as is our history in the Methodist Church, coming from the days of American Methodism in the early days, when there weren't enough elders to preside over the sacrament of communion. There would be a circuit-riding elder who would preside over communion and visit one of 4 churches every month. Now, I don't know why every church seems to have adopted the first Sunday of the month, but every church, Methodist church I've been a part of, only does communion on the first Sunday of the month. What happened to those that did it on the second, third, and fourth? Or why did they adopt the first Sunday after this time period was over? I'm not sure. But it's just sort of a function of our practice, not something that's any more holy or liturgical. In fact, John Wesley said, take communion as often as is available. Why not? And so he was an Anglican and practiced every week, and many Methodist churches do that as well. So there's nothing wrong with taking communion not on the first Sunday of the month. And I think it will provide us an opportunity to do a few things better. I have heard a good report from our communion experience that we had last month, and I'd like to continue that for most of us. But I'd also like to call into the efforts of about 10 to 15 people to come and help with worship on May 10th. And we would do communion on May 10th. We would also offer those little cups with the wafer on the top and the juice inside for our communion this time. But we would have the full week of May 4th through the 10th to pick up those cups at the church. It is my understanding as well, May 10th is a Mother's Day celebration, and we're going to have something for mothers to come and pick up and have available for that Mother's Day celebration as we continue to worship online. But what I would like to do is to move forward in our technological advancements. Most of the services that you've seen, all of the services that you've seen, are recorded earlier in the week and then edited throughout the week. Words placed on top, fading in, fading out, different things like this to make it a wonderful experience for us as best we can. And that editing program is what finalizes everything. It helps it to look nice, but it takes time. So we record earlier in the week and then it's ready by the weekend. So what we've been doing, if we're going to ever live stream our services, has to be a lot different. And we're going to need a little practice in live streaming. So what I'm looking for is some help. Even if you're not technologically savvy. I began visiting with the church council. We had a Zoom meeting this week, and I said, seriously, if you know how to work a trailer hitch, you can help with the technology in the church. It is not that hard. Really, it isn't. And we don't know everything that we need to know about it yet. We're all learning at the same time. If you know how to back up a trailer, you can learn how to punch a button on a keyboard to move the ProPresenter forward, or to hit pause, or to hit record, or to unmute a microphone, or mute a microphone. What I'd like is several people to be working at the audio-visual technical booth area at the same time. I could picture, now if we want to trim down later, that's fine, but I could picture a cameraman, a live streaming person, as well as a typical sound guy and a typical ProPresenter person. I said sound guy, I don't care if they're male or female. Anybody will work, but we desperately, truly, as a church, we desperately need this. And if you're at all sheepish or squeamish about, well, I just don't know technology, I'd love to help, this is the perfect time to get involved. None of us fully know enough of what we're going to need to do. And we're all going to make mistakes in the coming weeks. So don't let your fear about making mistakes keep you from participating. Some of you have gifts and abilities that you aren't able to tap into and make available to the life of the church because you like to be behind the scenes. This is a perfect behind-the-scenes role, and the only way people will know that you're there at all is if there is a mistake that occurs. But right now, all of us are going to make mistakes. I just recorded an entire sermon this week with my mic on mute. I had to redo it. We're going to run into that stuff, and there's no problem. There's all the grace in the world for people who are willing to show up and help participate. But I'm also going to need more than technological. I'm also going to need a liturgist to show up. On May 4th, more people can come together in groups of 10 or so, and so I'm going to want a liturgist. I'm going to look for musicians, not just our organist to show up and have me record one line of a doxology. I'd like to have some people in the congregation, maybe just 4. But I'd like to have some people in the congregation who I will work with and look eye to eye with as I'm preaching and as I administer the sacrament, especially on May 10th. So that's what we're looking to do on May 10th at 8:30. 8:30 a.m. we'll have a worship service that we do live, and we're going to try to broadcast that live. And then it, of course, will last about an hour, as church typically does. And that'll give us about another hour to figure out exactly what we want to do or clean up anything if we can. If we don't have the time, we're going to launch it before 10:30 so that people can worship at the typical 10:30 time. So those who would typically show up at 8 come a little bit later to help. And I'd like to do that throughout the month of May. An 8:30 service for all the Sundays in May, beginning the second Sunday when we do communion and as we celebrate Mother's Day. I'd like to call you into that. I'd like for you to think about what role you could play, and I would like for you to email me, pastorscott@ziongordonville.com. Call the church, 243-8025. Call the church, email me, and let me know what role you'd be interested in playing. I truly want us to move forward in our technology as we begin to open up and then eventually come fully back to church. I'd like for this live streaming to be seamless, to be done, to be accomplished. We come back, we're all together, the camera's showing everyone in the church at some point in time, just showing our love for each other. And then we move into the service, and then when the service is complete, that service is online, and people can view it at home just as if they were live. And if they want to wake up and stay home and view it at the 8 o'clock at 10:30, they can do that. So they're worshiping with us as we're worshiping. I'm looking forward to all of that being possible. What we've been doing isn't possible. I have to record it in the middle of the week and then put words on it throughout the week, and then no one's here on Sunday morning. So it's going to change a little bit. It's going to look a little bit different, and I'd like to begin that 2 Sundays from this weekend. So we've got a little time to work, and we're going to have to practice. We're going to have to come together during the week of May 4th through May 10th in order to figure out how this technology works. So not just if you can show up on Sunday, May 10th, but if you're available to help practice and help this technology get together, please reach out to me. I'm looking forward to taking this technology future with us as we go. There's no reason we need to lose anything as we move forward as a church in our worship services and in our technology. But truly, we need you to participate. This is the ask. This is the time. One person might say, you got nothing better to do. Another person might say, don't let fear get in the way. Another person might say, if you've been looking for a role to play behind the scenes because you don't need to be prominent, this is an essential thing that we need. You will help our church move forward. People are blessed by the services that we've been offering online, and you can be a part of that blessing. There's all kinds of reasons that God could be calling you into this. I'm not looking just for 4 people at the back. I'm looking for about a dozen people that we can rotate so that you don't have to do this forever and for always. But I need more people in order to do that. So please consider yourself as one of those who is possible, is capable. We'd love to work with you. We'll work with you in cycles and in turns. Everyone will get a chance, and then not everybody is obligated. And I think some of you may find you really have a good time. If you're interested in technology at all, this is actually a lot of fun. I don't get to have fun at the back because I'm busy up front preaching. That's my job, so I guess I'll continue. But I need you to have as much fun as I would at the back, punching buttons and making some things happen. It's been a lot of fun to offer this to you. So I hope that many of you will consider the fun you can have and participate in this as well. Looking forward to worshiping with you in the month of May a little bit differently, but getting a little closer to the way we used to. And until we get back and finally see it again. And I don't know that we'll have to wait till the end of May, but that's the plan at this point. 8:30 services, May 10th through the end of the month, and then a 10:30 guarantee online. That's what we're going to try to do. Look forward to doing it with you.